So Apache was the web server used in widely used because it is platform independent, and then we have also a web browser for based on the Microsoft product, that is IIS. So these are the web servers. So in today's class we'll be discussing about URL, and also we'll be discussing about the MIME. Okay, so what is basically URL is all about? So the full form for the URL is Uniform Resource Locators, or we can also call them as the uh, universal resource locators. These two terms are used interchangeably. Earlier days they called it as universal resource locator, but preferably these days we just use the term called as uniform resource locators. So now the next question is, whenever we want to access the information which is present on the web, we need to open a browser, and we need to go to a particular domain, and we need to uh, access some files or documents. We may download a movie song, or we may download a document, and so on. So we need to know about what is a domain name and what is a URL. We know that we already know about the domain name. Domain name is the one which will help us to go to a particular website or to a web application where we want to access some information. Like we can have google.com, our college website, and so on. So that is just a domain name. But we want to access a file or a document that is present on that particular web server or on that particular uh, domain name. So we require this uh, uniform resource locators. Just having the domain name is not sufficient to access any document on the web. So uniform resource locators are used to identify different kinds of resources on the internet. Apart from that, they also help us to know different kinds of resources. When we say a web program, or when we say web application or web technology, inside that or in the browser, whenever we are searching or we are finding something, we may have different kinds of information. We may have a document, we may have a PPT presentation. All these include, I mean, they are basically documents itself. Or apart from that, it can be a image file, it can be audio, video, and so on. So to identify these different kinds of resources on the internet, we require this uniform resource locators. If the web browser wants some document from web server, just giving the domain name is not sufficient, because domain name can only be used for locating the server. So basically we all know that when I want to access a particular file or some image I want to download, so what I will do, I will open my browser, and in the address bar, okay, here we will type our domain name like www.google.com/ and so on, so that we can access that particular document. So that is nothing but our domain name. But having just the domain name is not sufficient, because the domain name will just help us to know where the information is present. I will just give a simple example. Consider that in my file, I mean in my system, I have some files, okay, and one or two person wants to access it. So if I just tell that go to my I mean open my laptop and you can access my file, so that is not sufficient, because inside my laptop there can be a number of drives can be present. Okay, in the inside the hard disk there can be a number of subdirectories, and inside those directories the file can be present. So let us consider example. So uh, we will consider Vishal and Vaibhav sir. Vishal is like, for example, consider it as a browser, and Vaibhav sir is a web server. So Vishal wants to access some file or uh, document from the web. So inside the and when the he wants to access these different files, he will send that request to the web server, and through that it can get it. But if the web server says that it is present at this particular location, it will not be efficient for the Vishal to access that file. But if I say that the file is present at this particular directory, so inside the E drive there is a folder called as Webosser files. Inside that the file is present. So if we tell this clear information or clear path, we can say, then it will be easy for the users to access those files. So the same thing applies for the URLs as well. Domain name will just help us to identify or to locate the server where that particular information is present. But URL is the one which will specify where exactly in the domain name the file is present. So for that reason, we require this URL. So it does not have information about which document the client needs. Therefore, URL should be provided. Also, here in the case, when we say about client, client is nothing but a browser, or a client can be a common man as well who wants to access something from the web browser. So the it does not have the information about which document client needs. That is, the domain will not have any clue about which type of document the user is wants to access. So therefore the URL should be provided so that it will help the browser to identify which document the person wants, or it wants to download, or it wants to access. So what is the syntax of this URL then? The syntax for the URL is scheme colon object address. So this is the normal syntax for the URL. Then what the scheme suggests, like for declaring of a variable, what is the syntax that we use? We use data type space variable name semicolon. That is the syntax to declare the variable. Similarly, for any URL, okay, any website name or any document you want to access in the website, so it will have this as the general format or a general syntax, you can say. First we have scheme, then followed by the object address. Then what this scheme suggests? Scheme suggests the type of protocol that we are using. Like we say that we use the internet for different types of activities. We may use it for the uh, sending or receiving of the mail. We may use it for the downloading of the file, or we may use it for the remote login, like we can use the telnet. So there are different kinds of protocols that are available. So the most common one, or our objective is to concentrate on the HTTP protocol, that is the hypertext transfer protocol. So this scheme is nothing but the type of protocol that we are using, and then followed by the object address. So this object address is nothing but the fully qualified domain name, then followed by the path to the document. So where the exactly this particular file is located. So that together we can call it as the object address. So here, for example, if you consider this HTTP colon, so that is we are using the scheme as HTTP. So we are using the protocol as HTTP. Then this is the object address www.rcub.ac.in. So this is the domain name. Okay, and this is the results.php. So I want to access results.php file, or I want to access this particular document, but where it is present? It is present at this particular domain. So domain name will just tell you where your information is present, or where your actual document is present. It will help us to locate the resource or locate the server, locating the server. But this URL will help us to access that particular file in this particular domain name. So this together, okay, the URL, I mean the domain name as well as the uh, document name followed by its extension, together we can call it as the URL. So in case of HTTP, so if you consider the scheme as HTTP, then what will be the object address? So it will be like HTTP colon double slash fully qualified domain name slash path to the document. So in this example, we are considering as the scheme that we are using is the HTTP. Similarly, we can use FTP, Gopher, Telnet, so and so on. So these are the different types of protocols that we may use. So for example, if I want to access our college website, so what we can do is, so I will go to this address bar. I will type here HTTP, okay, colon double slash, then GCC bgm.org.placement. Sorry. So this is what I will type. So it will go to this particular location, or here I am having the website. So this is what we call as the URL. But by default, here it is not specifying which type of file we want to access. Suppose say that if you click on about us, so here we'll have something called as /, then followed by the about us. So we are accessing this particular document about us. So like this, inside the domain, we will be having different set of files. So all those files are specified in proper directories, or subdirectories may be possible as well. So if I click on courses and if I click on BCA, again this URL will change. So it indicates that to access some unique information inside the domain, we require the URL. Domain name will just help us to go to that particular website or go to that particular server, but whereas this URL will help us to access a particular information present on a website or on a present on the web. For that purpose, we require this URL. Are we getting it? So here, for example, fully qualified domain name / path to the document. So if I say that results.php, it indicates that inside this domain name / indicates it is a root directory. So inside the root directory, there is a file called as results.php. There can be some subdirectories as well. So inside this domain name, I can have results as a subdirectory. Inside that, this file may be located. So this entire thing, we call it as the URL. But whereas if you consider only this www.rcub.ec.in, we can just call it as the domain name. So the fully qualified domain name followed by the path to the document, together we can call it as a object address, and protocol name followed by the object address, together we can call it as the uniform resource locator or the URL. So you may get a question, what is the full form of URL, or what is the task of, or what is the working of a URL? So to identify different kinds of resources or information, we require this URL, and URL will help us to access a particular file in the respective domain. Like, and also we took an example of like this protocol can be HTTP, FTP, Telnet, and so on. So this we already know. So when we say that when you are accessing a particular file, that is common. So when you type this gccbgm.org, whether you are typing in my laptop or your browser and so on, you'll go to the same application or you will go to the same website. But if I want to access a particular file, okay, which is present on my desktop or on my laptop or in my system, then I will be using a protocol as file. So file protocol is used when you want to access a file which is currently running on the browser. So similarly for that, I have taken one simple example. So this is my path. Inside my E drive, I have a folder called as WebSR files, and in that I have created a simple HTML program. And this is what a program consists of, simple program I have written. So now if I want to run this, what I have to do, I will go to the browser. Okay, here what I will do is, here I will type it as file. So this file indicates that file is nothing but a scheme here, and then this is my path. Okay, because it is there in e:/Vaibhav sir files / program1.html.
ಫಸ್ಟ್ 42 ಬರ್ದಿರ್ ಪೂಜಾ 42 ತಾಕ್ಯಾರ ಹೌದಾ ನಾನು 53 ಅನಾತ
.html. So when I click enter button, it will display the contents of that. So I have typed only like this, Vaibhav sir and so on, but there are some percentages are appearing. So what these percentages are, that we'll be discussing. So if a file is present on my web browser, I mean in my computer system, then I will be using the protocol as the file. So which allows us to access or run the files that are present on the current system or current working system, so that we can access those files. So if you type the same URL, okay, e:/Vaibhav and so on program1.html in your browser, in your laptops, then it will not work. Why? Because this program1.html file is not present on your system. But whereas if you type the gcc bgm.org, and when I type it simultaneously, we can access the same website, because that is universal. This is universal and it is kept at the web server so that everyone can access it, those who have the internet connection. But this particular file is only present on my system, so you cannot access it. So this is what we can call it as the URL. Okay, are we all getting it? So here file is the scheme and Vaibhav files is the domain name, because I'm running it on my own system, and then followed by the document name. Are we clear with this, the meaning of URL? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Next, we have some rules for these URLs. So what are those rules? So these are some of the rules or restrictions that we have. URLs can never have embedded spaces. So when we are typing some URLs, it cannot have any spaces. So even if you open this, it will not have any spaces. So, but if to search a particular file or to locate a file, if there are any some spaces, then it will change those spaces into some special characters. Okay, and it cannot use special characters like semicolons, ampersands, and colons. These are not included in the URLs, or they cannot be used in the URL. The path to the document for HTTP protocol is a sequence of directory names and a file name, all separated by whatever special characters the OS uses. So when we want to access a particular document or a file, we need to know the entire path. So that path to the document for the HTTP protocol is a sequence of directory names and a file name. So we can have directories, subdirectories, and then the entire path name, and it can be separated by special characters that operating system uses. For example, what is my, I mean, where is my file located? My file is located in Vaibhav space sir space files. But when I type this in my URL, this Vaibhav space is being replaced by ampersand symbol. This means that in Windows, okay, for the spaces, it will change it into percentage, because URLs cannot have the semicolons or special characters, or it cannot have the embedded spaces. So in case of Windows, it will be changed with percentage, but in case of Unix, it may be changed with some other special symbols as well. That is what they are highlighting. So the URLs cannot have spaces, or they cannot use special symbols like semicolons, colons, and so on. But if there are some spaces to access the particular file, then those will be done by the, or those will be replaced with the percentage symbol. The path in URL can differ from a path to a file, because a URL need not include all directories on the path. When I say I'm having a file, so it is just present in my system. But when I'm talking about a particular directory, I mean, I'm talking about a particular file or a document, it is located at some particular directory. So the path to the directory, I mean, the path of the URL can be of two types. One can be a complete path, other is nothing but a partial path. So what is this complete path? Complete path means that when I want to access a particular file, I should type the entire path name like scheme name, domain name, then / index.html. So this we can call it as a complete path, a path that includes all directories along the way. So I can have here, again, I can have a subdomain like hello. This can be a subdirectory and then index.html. So this becomes a complete path. So here index.html file is the document that I want to access, but where it is located at hello directory, and where this hello is present, this hello directory is present inside the domain called as www.rcub.ac.in. So this what we call as the complete path. So from the domain name till we reach to the path, that we can call it as the complete path. Sometimes we will not be having the complete path. Like for example, in most cases, the path to the document is related to some base path that is specified in the configuration files of the server. So configuration files of the server, nothing but what type of information we are accessing, or what type of information is been kept, or which port number we are using. So all those are included in the configuration files. So such paths are called as the partial paths. Here I am referring to the page that is present at the root directory. So here I'm not specifying whether I want index.html or hello.html and so on. So this we call it as the partial path, which is related to the some base path. So even if I want to access something which is present at this particular directory, I'm using the only domain name /root. So this indicates that it is a root directory. So this we call it as the partial path. A part to the document is related to some base path. So here I have the base path as this, that is specified in the configuration files of the server. So such paths are called as the partial paths. For example, whenever you open any website, by default, it will have something called as index.html, or the home page, the first page that appears on the website. Okay, the first page that appears on the website, we can call it as the home page, or by default it will be named with the extension index.html if it is created in HTML. If it's created in PHP, it will be index.php. If it is created using the JSP, Java Server Pages, then it will be index.jsp and so on. So for that home page, we need not specify the path name. Okay, but for example, when I'm using courses, BCA and other things, I have this entire URL. So inside .org/BCA. So again, in that BCA, there can be some other files or directories and so on. But when I click on this home page, it will just display the gccbgm.org. Okay, like this. If I type like this as well, gccbgm.org, or I will type like this, https:// okay, /.org index.php, because this website is designed in PHP. So if I type this index.php, it will not show this index.php. When I click on this enter button, it will directly go to again home page. Okay, so the first page will be always starts with index.php or HTML or JSP and so on. But whereas for the other files, we require this entire complete path name is required. So this is what we mean by the complete path and the partial path. So by default, we'll always go to the home page. Are we clear with this URL, everyone?
Yes, sir.
If you know the domain name, then it will just locate you to that particular website or that particular web page. But inside that web page, which document you want to access, or which type of file you want to download, or you want to make some transaction and so on. For that you require a URL. So it will just indicate that what is the exact path and where is that particular file is located. For that URL is required. Domain name will just help you out to locate the server where it is present, but URL will help you out to know where that exactly file or that document is present. And we also discussed about the complete path and the partial paths. Now let's go ahead with the next thing, that is about the MIME, multi-purpose internet mail extension. So this is also a particular protocol and a standard given for the in the case of internet, so that it helps the browser to access or do some actions based on the particular file. See, when we are searching something on the web browser, we'll be having different types of information. We may be interested in text files, in the documents, we may be interested in image files or audio songs, movies, and so on. So whenever a browser is requesting some files from the web server, okay, it wants to know which type of information it is accessing. So again, if you take the example of, consider Charan as a browser and myself as the web server. So I will be sending some response to the browser. So the browser needs to know which type of information I am getting from the web server, so that I can do that particular action. Because in the internet, there are different types of information will be present. So to help the web browser, the web servers provides the information about the type of document. So that we call it as the MIME, that is a protocol multi-purpose internet mail extension. So the server system, apart from sending the requested document, it will also send the MIME information. It will define what is the type of document a browser is accessing. So for that we require this MIME. The MIME information is used by web browsers for rendering the document properly. As we know that there are different types of documents that there are present. So to perform a particular action or to render that document in a proper way, we require this MIME. And what is the syntax of this MIME? The format of MIME is type/subtype. So type indicates what is the basic type of that particular document. So if it is a text, so the type can be text /HTML. So the inside text, it can be HTML or it can be a document type. If we consider type as an image, so that image type can be JPEG, PNG, and so on. If you consider it as video file, so the type specifies video, then the subtypes is MPEG and so on. So by knowing these format types, the browser will understand what is the document I am receiving, and based on that it will do that in a proper way. Basically, if the type is text or image, then the browser can easily access it, or it will perform the or rendering can be done in a easy way without any problem. But if a browser or if a client wants to access a audio file or a video file, it requires some other softwares as well. However, if the type is video or audio, it cannot render the document directly. For that, the browser requires some special softwares or some special programs are required. Those are called as the media player, or we can call them as the, like for example, if a person wants to download a movie song or he wants to watch a video on the browser, so in such cases it is not directly possible. So it should include some special softwares, and we call them as the helper applications or the plugins. However, if the type is video or audio, it cannot render the document directly. So it has to take the help of other softwares like media player, Winamp, and so on. So with the help of these media players, it can render the documents, and these special softwares are called as the helper applications or the plugins. So this is about related to the MIME. So MIME is also a protocol. We call it as the multi-purpose internet mail extension. So it is a standard that helps us to, that helps not us, basically it helps the browser to identify which type of document it is receiving or it is accessing from the web server. So web server will include this whenever it is sending the response to the browser saying that you can access this particular type of file. So whenever the browser views this type of format, like it is HTML, HTML, so according to the type, it will do that particular operation. Apart from this regular text files and audio or video files, we can have something called as the hypermedia. That is, the non-textual information are known as the hypermedia. Like for example, we may want to access a database which is present on the server. So for such types, we can call it as the experimental document types are used when user wants to create some customized information. When user wants to do some customized information and make it available on the internet, like I want to make a database and I want to keep it on the particular domain, and every user can who wants to access it, they can access it. So for such type, we use something called as experimental document type. For example, the syntax is type/x subtype. So for example, we can consider it as type as database and x base. So this can be MySQL or SQL Server and so on. So these are the subtypes inside the database. It can be video and then x/ms video. So which type of video you want to render and so on. So these are related to the experimental documents. For that, this is the syntax for the MIME.